Goes without saying that's a disappointing end to the game and the season, especially after a really real good effort by us in the first half. Unfortunately, they kind of flipped the script on us in the second half, and some of the things that we have been deficient at appeared again. Things like third down, not finishing in the red zone, some penalties, obviously, whether they were questionable or not, they were still called, and so some of those things were obviously self-inflicted errors that cost us the game. As I said to the guys in the locker room, it certainly wasn't about heart or effort or passion or want to. Again, for us to be playing for nothing, essentially meaning the postseason, and for our guys to go out there and give the effort they gave is pretty remarkable. Right up to the end of the game, right up to the very, very last play of the season, our guys are fighting, scratching, clawing, and so that's a credit to them. But at the same time, if we don't get some of these things cleaned up, the results will continue to be the same, in the future. So that's unfortunate. We really wanted to try to get one here, obviously, with all the circumstances that took place this week. It would have been great to bring home a win back to New Orleans, to give everybody something to at least smile about for just a short term. But, again, I applaud our guys in terms of their work ethic, but unfortunately we weren't able to finish the job. So.
What are your emotions right now after potentially being your last game as head coach?
I really haven't. That hasn't crept into my mind yet, Catherine. I'm emotional because I really wanted to get this win today to end the season on a positive note for everybody: the team, the organization, the city, the fan base. So I really haven't started to process all the all of that part of it yet. I think you guys have pretty figured out by now that I'm a what you see is what you get kind of guy. So I'm going to be passionate about everything, and so I'm just still trying to absorb this game. I'm still upset about this result, and we'll take that. We'll start tomorrow, and we'll figure out what the plan is moving forward. So with that.
You see anything about what happened with Foster Moreau? We didn't see it. It was right at the end of the game, but just he left.
Yeah, he's dealing with a knee injury. I do not know any of the details yet. That's just way too early. But I know he got a knee injury there in that last 2-minute drill. Without watching the film, it's hard to see. For us, we did a good job in the first half of getting into third and manageables and converting and all that, and we didn't do that in the second half. We ended up 3 of 13 on the day, in third down, and you're not going to win a lot of games when you're 3 of 13 on third down, and so. I thought we did a much better job first and second. There was really an emphasis coming in. We didn't want to get into Todd and their defense. That they do a great job with their pressure package on third and long. We did not want to be in third and long. That was not where we wanted to live. And so I thought we really were doing a good job there. We controlled the time of possession in the first half. That's why we took the ball to start the game. The game was playing out the way we wanted it to play out there in the first half. That, we just couldn't get a mirror image in the second half. They went down, scored on the first drive, a couple penalties. We had a face mask. We had an illegal hit to the head. They had a long scramble. And they kind of got the momentum rolling in the second half, and we couldn't really stop it. That's just unfortunate. It's hard to say, but it's the truth.
Why does that continue or has continued to be an issue in the second half because of the blank versus just one of several examples?
Yeah, well, there's been some examples where we weren't very good in the first half and had a great second half, or vice versa. Today, I thought we played very well in the first half across the board. What we didn't do in the first half was finish drives in the red zone, and we walked out of there with 3 field goals, if I'm not mistaken. The good red zone drive was a great job before the half. I thought our guys really did a great job operating that. But we had 2 earlier drives that stalled, and we had to kick field goals. And we did have a couple of fourth down conversions on the one drive. I think that was the touchdown drive, so that was a really good job by everybody. But unfortunately, I hear you. The playing the complete game, 4 quarters, is something that we have not done a good job of here, especially these final 3 weeks.
Kind of along those lines, what do you make of the kind of splits with Spencer Rattler between his first and second half? It's kind of been a theme this year too.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, without watching the film, it's hard for me to say to put it all on Spencer. I'm going to tell you, anybody puts the film on from the first half, they're going to see a guy that played really well, came out the gate. was delivering the ball, was on target. I know he missed a couple shots there in the second half that we had potentially some completions that we missed. You know, I hate to say it, but you're going to probably deal with that with most rookie quarterbacks with the peaks and the valleys. But man, if he could do what he did in the first half and continue that, as I've said all along, Luke, and with everybody and this guy, is if we can get rid of the negative plays, you know, that's going to be the big deal for us. So I didn't see a whole lot of negative plays. We just didn't have the production that we had in the first half offensively.
On the MVS, the touchdown that they initially, what did you see on that play? Was it close? Or did you consider challenging?
I did consider challenging it. You know, I never saw a replay. They did not show it on the home screen board. Our guys upstairs that handle that stuff, they got the replay. They felt like it was never a catch and never really had control. I saw, you know, they were talking about his arm got pinned initially early, so they thought it might have been a PI, but I have not seen the play yet. All I saw was the bang action, but from everybody that I was told upstairs that we wouldn't have won the challenge. So that's the information I got.
How will you approach the next couple of days, weeks? You not really know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we'll come in tomorrow. We'll have our final team meeting, and the guys will do all their exit stuff. And then, listen, I'll sit down with obviously with Mickey and Mrs. Benson and the front office. You know, they have to go through no matter what happens with me, they have to go through you know, the interview process, the NFL interview process. I know I'll be a part of that. But other than that, you know, I'll start, hopefully get a few days off and try to reflect on everything and kind of go from there. I'm hurting right now for the guys in the locker room. I mean, you know, they're really emotional. That was one where, you know, there were some guys that aren't usually emotional post-game and, you know, that affects me because I love those guys. I love that locker room. And those guys have been unbelievably supportive of me. And so that's just a huge personal thank you. I'm getting emotional now to the locker room because they've been unreal.
What was that atmosphere like for you after the game? Obviously, you guys were disappointed after this one, but like, having been around those guys for a lot of years now, and their head coach was.
Sorry. You know, at the end of every season, it's hard. Whenever you know it's the last game, the locker room always sucks. Unless you're the team that wins the Super Bowl, the last game sucks. So whatever that last game is, the locker room is never fun. I think this one was a little bit more emotional because of the circumstances this year, with a bunch of guys being out, a bunch of guys stepping up, the coaching change, and so it's probably a little bit more emotional than I'm used to. But it's never it's never a good scene. But you know, those guys, you know, I had a lot of guys say a lot of nice things to me, which I'll never forget.